February the 10th, 2017. Guys, there's reports coming in out of Los Angeles. It says fear spreads in L.A. after immigration raid, advocates claim. Officials say arrests are routine. There's a game being played back and forth, and we know Jeff Sessions has went into office now. It says from tonight's protest on ICE arrest in Southern California's different Twitter leaks. I'm going to link to this article, guys. It says the panicked emails and phone calls began streaming in from community members at about 11 a.m. Thursday morning, inundating Los Angeles immigration lawyers with far more cases than usual. Immigrant advocate groups claim that more than 100 people have been taken into custody by federal immigration officials in Southern California Thursday, indicating a coordinated sweep in arrests and heightening fears that Donald Trump's promise to crack down on deportations has begun to take effect. Guys, they took a bus full of people back to the Mexican border yesterday. Police and immigration officials denied the raids and disputed the claim that the arrests were part of a more stringent approach, saying any detentions were simply part of routine enforcement activities, and they would have been routine for years if the law had been enforced. But a flurry of calls regarding arrests spurred immigration attorneys into rapid response efforts and prompted protests on the streets of downtown Los Angeles. Now, Angelica Celayas, as the executive director of the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles, or CHIRLA, said in an interview with the Washington Post, "There's a natural flow of law enforcement that happens every day, but this was not normal." According to Salas, the raid was taking place in Van Nuys, San Bernardino, Downey, Santa Paula, and Oxnard. Immigration attorneys went to the downtown L.A. detention and removal facility Thursday afternoon and saw 5 white vans and 1 bus filled with people leave the premises. When an attorney asked the Immigration and Customs Enforcement information about clients who were detained, an ICE officer said more information was needed to identify the individuals because more than 100 people were currently detained in the facility. Celeste said usually only 1 or 2 people are detained in the center on a given day, haven't been doing their job. Guys, this thing is going to expose a lot of cracks and flaws and problems in this country. It says the American Civil Liberty Union of Southern California tweeted, "Urgent. ICE conducted multiple raids of homes across the city." But a spokesman for the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, said in a statement to LA Times that the arrests were part of the agency's routine enforcement activities. Again, they keep emphasizing that. And again, they're doing the job. Our operations are targeted and lead-driven, prioritizing individuals who pose a risk to our communities. Examples would include known street gang members, child sex offenders, and deportable foreign nationals with significant drug trafficking convictions. The statement said, to that end, ICE routine immigration enforcement actions are ongoing and we make arrests every day. Looks like they're going to continue, and they're having protests in L.A. And you remember it was in Phoenix, night before last, they had the protest outside the ICE facility there when they were deporting a lady. It said the stance appeared to parallel practices under the Obama administration, which prioritized the deportation of people who were violent convicted offenders considered a threat to the public. No, they did not. They released them before ICE or the Border Patrol could get there. That's what they did under Obama, just for the Washington Post to keep you guys straight. Celas said immigration attorneys heard of multiple examples of people detained Thursday who were not violent offenders. One man wasn't even convicted of a crime, and another individual had simply received a speeding ticket. But guys, it goes back to the point, crossing the border without proper paperwork and proper vetting. Do it legally. That's what makes this nation great. We welcome immigrants, but you got to be legal so we know you're not going to blow something up and you're not going to be part of a major gang trafficking people. That's not cool. Now, where it's going to get deep and there's going to be trouble and there's people going to lose a lot of jobs in LAPD, I hope you're listening. Many law enforcement agencies, including the Los Angeles Police Department, have promised not to take part in the mass deportations Trump has called for. Well, you are no longer a law enforcement officer because you're not enforcing the laws, and you will be removed. Los Angeles Deputy Police Chief Bob Green told the Los Angeles Times Thursday that the department knew of no ICE sweeps going on in the San Fernando Valley. Well, Bob, think about it. Why would they tell you so you can go and tell everybody to hide? You're already saying you're not going to take part. Think about it. They're not going to tell you nothing. Remember, Trump said, I'm not going to tell the enemy what I do before I do it. And in this case, the Los Angeles Police Department, not the good officers, but the heads of this department that have been paid off by George Soros and that bunch, you're out of the loop now. You're out of the loop. The Pomona Police Department released a statement warning community members of an immigration checkpoint hoax that had been circulating on social media, claiming that officers had joined immigration officials conducting immigration checkpoints. But the officers are not being allowed to do that. They say that we're working hard with immigrant communities to dispel fears. What they're doing is snitching out ICE and the Border Patrol in order to hide the illegal immigrants. We want our community to know that the Pomona Police Department is not participating in any immigration checkpoints, nor are we aware of any such checkpoints scheduled in the city of Pomona. The department said, we encourage the community to always fact check to avoid fake news. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch Brian Williams on MSNBC. Meanwhile, immigration advocates called on ICE officials to release information regarding the number of people arrested in recent days. Guys are playing it back and forth. ICE doesn't have to give these lawyers anything. Nothing. They're not dealing with American civil rights at this point, because unless you're here legally, you have no civil rights. Just understand it, understand where this is coming from, and make your plans accordingly. Said, who are these people, she added. How many are on the list that were all criminal aliens? They were all criminal, Salas, if they were here illegally. A number of local lawmakers joined immigrant rights advocates in calling upon ICE to release additional information. They can't stand it. California Senator President Pro Temp Kevin De Leon, remember he's the one that came on a couple of days ago and said his entire family is here illegally almost with stolen papers. He said that he released a statement about the ICE and the raids across Southern California. He said, it is now clear the Trump administration is not concerned with public safety. Yes, he is, Kevin. Yes, he is. That's why he's doing this. They are only focused on ripping hard-working men, women, and children from the families and communities. Mass deportation will not make us safer. Instead, they will simply undermine our state's economy. Man, these guys are lost in space. You take care of the legal people here. Many from Mexico are legal. That's how you protect the economy. State Senator Tony Mendoza, Democrat from Los Angeles, that tells you a lot. And Assemblyman Miguel Santiago, Democrat Los Angeles, echoed similar thoughts on Twitter, calling for clarity from ICE. It's clear. Quit digging into it. Read the executive order. Wake up. Guys, I'll link to this article. It's a heads up. We're starting to see movement in the promises made by our president. Be safe.